Hi everybody, it's the Soap Man, and it's Saturday morning and it's time to make some soap. Take two. Just had an accident, everything came falling out of a cabinet and into the crock pot, hence the greasy gloves. Let's try this again. So, if you're coming to me, or you see you're coming to me, staring down at the crock pot, we're making some hot process. If you're looking for a hot process tutorial, this is one. This is how I do it. So starting out, have my oils melted. I'll put my recipe in there. You're welcome to use it. With hot process, I don't worry about temperatures. These are very hot oils. This is very hot lye. Just mixed it up like 10 minutes ago. In hot process, it does not matter. We'll get into coloring and fragrancing later. Let's just make some soap. Pouring my very hot lye water into my very hot oils. And with hot process, I like a very thick trace before it starts to cook to make sure everything's very well emulsified. Very well mixed. That's all we're going to do. I will bring you back at the next stage, so I'll see you in a bit. Okay, we're not ready to do anything yet, but it is starting to cook because look over here in the corner. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that bubbling up there, starting to creep up the sides. That's why you never leave hot process unattended. That's all we're going to do for now. I'll stir this up when that gets a little more involved. Alright, time to stir it up a little bit. We're getting a little more involved and getting some more heat in it. Some people say do this, some people say don't. See all that? It's going on underneath too. I'm going to go ahead and break it up to accelerate it just a little bit. When it gets to this point, it usually cooks into soap in about 20 minutes. We'll have soap in 20 minutes. We'll have soap in less than 20 minutes. So anyway, I don't spend a lot of time with the lid off because I'm losing water, which I don't want to do. Oops. So anyway, that's the next stage. Okay, look here, we're at the applesauce stage. This is where everything actually has started to gel and it's separated a little bit too. That's why I like a really thick trace when I mix it up. But see, it just looks sort of a lot like applesauce. And that's from less than 5 minutes ago. And probably in another 5 or so minutes, we'll be at mashed potato stage and it'll be almost soap. Okay, we're getting close to having soap. See how it's climbing up the crock pot? That's why you never leave it alone. It's behaving well, but it can overclimb your crock pot, knock the lid off, have caustic lye soap all over the place, because we're not, still has lye in it. Not as much, but we're not quite at mashed potatoes yet, but we're getting there. So just going to give it a quick stir, calm it down a little bit, get everything mixed in. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Okay, less than 5 minutes, we are officially at mashed potato stage. See, it's gone from looking like applesauce to looking like mashed potatoes. Not quite there yet. It's still wanting to climb, but it's starting to get glossy, which means it's a fully cooked gelled soap. We're not there yet. It's still trying to climb. So I'd say another 5 minutes of cooking, we'll be done. Then we'll talk about how we're going to fragrance and color it. Okay, I've unplugged it. 15 minutes from when it started creeping up the sides, it's cooked. We have soap. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and get this out of the hot base and let it start to cool down just a little before I go any further. Just get this out of the way. Get you back into the picture. This is very hot right now. Now what I like to do, this is 100% optional, but this is sodium lactate. Sodium lactate helps keep it fluid a little bit longer. Just makes it easier to work with. And it's 1 teaspoon per pound of oil. And for this it would be 3.75, so I just go ahead and put 4 in. And stir it in. Now, even though it's in the hot crock, which is going to hold the heat, since it's off the heat source, it's going to start to move pretty quickly, slow down, so I don't have a whole lot of time here. Let's talk superfat. There are 2 ways to superfat your hot process. I like to just go ahead and build the superfat into the recipe exactly the way I do cold process, no difference. Some people like to cook it at 0% superfat, so it's 100% soap, and then when it's done cooking, they put their superfat in. I've done it that way too. I don't really notice a lot of difference. To me, it's just easier to go ahead and mix it in with your recipe, just like cold process. Okay, now what I'm going to do normally, I just do 1 color, and so I just go ahead and put the color in and cook it in there, and then I put my embeds in. Well, I'm trying 2 colors today, so I have a smaller crock pot over here that's been heating, so I'm going to put roughly half of the soap batter into this other warm crock, because I'm going to try to have 2 different colored soaps. Or I'm going to try to have a swirl in this. And I'm just doing roughly half. I'm not even measuring, I'm just eyeballing. And since I don't have an oil to disperse my colorants, this is activated charcoal. This is Firefly Mica Yellow. This is the fragrance oil. So I'm dispersing my colorants in the fragrance oil. Let's start over here with the yellow. Stir it in because I'm going to have to move fast now. I'm going to need more soap in that. And I hope you're in the picture. Let me see. Yes, you are. You are. Just keep stirring it. It'll take a while, but your soap will soak that up. Just kind of stir and fold and stir and fold. And I'm sorry, this is a bit of a long process and I'm not sure I can edit this. So anyway, but see, it's starting to absorb it now. So there we have a nice yellow soap. stirred in, and it's still behaving well. I think keeping this in the hot crock helped that. But nonetheless, I will have to move fast. Let's stir up my activated charcoal in the fragrance oil. Oh, shoot, I've lost my battery. Let's get this stirred in, and then I'm going to attempt to swirl these together. I have never done this, but we'll see how it works. Just keep stirring and stirring, and the soap will absorb that fragrance oil. This is actually less than the maximum recommended. I always put the maximum skin safe. I don't have enough. So this is actually less than the maximum recommended. It's starting to set up on me. I'm going to have to get this mixed and into the mold quickly. So, let's get my yellow in there. Oh, that's hot. That is hot, hot, hot. Yikes, that's hot. So, let's just do a little folding, a little stirring. I have never done this. This might be just a total mess. Okay, let's get this in the mold before it sits up on me. And I realized I forgot to wash my mold out, but that is just soap residue. It's not actually dirty, it's just soap residue from the last time I forgot to wash it out and thought I would do it while this was cooking. And guess what, I didn't. So we'll just plop this in here and smack it on the floor. Plop, spread it out, punch it down and smack it on the floor. Plop, spread, and smack. And just kind of like to just keep doing that just to try to get it all in there, make sure it's nice and plopped in there, no air pockets. There we have it. And I think the swirling actually worked. So that's what I have. I'm going to go ahead and set this outside. It's about 30 degrees outside here in West Virginia. I'm going to set it outside and let it start to cool down, and I will be back to cut it in a few hours. All right, we'll talk about it then. Bye. Okay, so we're back to cut our multicolored swirled hot process soap, and I have to say, So far, I'm really liking it. I did forget to tell you, the fragrance oil I used was Crafter's Choice Sexy Sandalwood. This is one of the ones Lisa gave me. This particular recipe, at the maximum skin safe, I didn't have enough, but this is still ample. I can smell it. And of course, hot process is not quite as harsh on fragrance oils, so they generally hold up better. So let's go ahead and slice this and cut it. I'm curious to see it. Okay, let's see what the inside looks like. Oh, yeah, very nice. Very nice. Never would have guessed that that's hot process. Very nice. So let's cut this into bars. It's still just a little bit soft in the center, just a little bit of residual warmth, but I think it's hard enough to cut. It is. Oh, yeah. Oh, I like that. I really like that. Okay, so yeah, I am very pleased with this. And it is possible to get some intricate swirls in your hot process soap. And all of this, there's a lot of soap in this crock pot, and on that spoon, there's a lot of soap in there. I'm going to fill this with hot water, let it soak loose, and wash a big old pot of dishes with it. A big old sink full of dishes with it. That will not be going to waste. That will wash dishes. But I am super happy with these. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.